Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Greer, who I interviewed in 1983.
And I was in the front seat. I was driving him when he was shot.
That's right, he was the Secret Service agent behind the wheel. The first shot he thought was a backfire. The second?
And I looked over my shoulder like this, and I saw the blood running down Governor Connolly's white shirt. And then I knew it was trouble.
The fatal shot rang out just as he hit the gas. Minutes later, he was in the operating room as doctors tried to save Kennedy, but nothing could be done.
I got real shook up about it.
He stayed in the Secret Service just a couple more years before retiring to Waynesville. Nightmares of Dallas to blame.
I think that's what gives me ulcers.
He died 2 years after this interview. We still have the old tapes, the old films of what happened in Dallas.
So I can see how if you look at specific angles, it looks like the driver did it because he's going like this to look behind him. But did he do it?
They are not from outer space. They are not from another planet. They are not from another galaxy. They are from here, planet Earth. They have been here for millions of years. They live in the oceans. They have thousands of bases beneath all the seas. Throughout planet Earth, their technology is millions of years more advanced than human technology. They are the first intelligent life to live on planet Earth. This is their planet, not our planet. It was never our planet. Many governments in the world know about this and keep it secret from the public. Since the 1930s, the United States military has retrieved multiple extraterrestrial spacecrafts that would also retrieve biological alien bodies.
Now, this is one of my favorite theories, mostly because it has to do with aliens, and y'all know how much I love alien stuff. But they might not be aliens. They may have been here all along, and they might be in the ocean, which would explain why we're so intent on not exploring the rest of the ocean. I mean, we've got that 5%. That's always been like the number, right? We know 5% of the ocean, but the rest of it is unknown because we're not allowed to know it because they know that the aliens are there.
By the way, do you know that we are the one of the few civilized nations in the world that continues to call Alzheimer's and dementia Alzheimer's and dementia? Does anybody know what it is? What is it? Type 3 diabetes. Google it. You'll see the Mayo Clinic, the Cleveland Clinic, Keller University, Berkeley, National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health. We have known that insulin resistance in the brain, which is called type 3 diabetes, is the leading cause of Alzheimer's. And then we developed this lie, this myth around Alzheimer's that people were losing their memory. That is not true. People are losing access to their memory.
I feel like Big Pharma has a hand in this because there are so many medications that supposedly slow the progression of dementia and Alzheimer's. And my grandfather had dementia. He lived with us for 7 years while it progressed until it finally took him just a few years ago. Now, he was taking so many medications. Now, if we look at it from a type 3 diabetes standpoint, I'm sure there are other things that could have been done to actually save him and elongate his life versus just slowing the progression.
TikTok ban update. Yesterday, September 16th, a federal appeals court heard arguments on a potential law that could ban TikTok as early as January 19th, 2025. This is only if TikTok doesn't sell its U.S. assets. TikTok argues that this law violates free speech and lacks proof of national security threats. The U.S. government insists that TikTok's Chinese ownership poses a data security risk. The court will decide by December 6th, potentially impacting TikTok's future. What do you think's going to happen in this case? Let us know in the comments.
So January 2025, that's where we're looking at losing TikTok potentially. Unless Trump gets into office, maybe he'll decide, no, we're not going to let it go. I mean, he is on the platform now, so that's a good sign, I guess, to save TikTok. And as far as this freedom of speech crap, TikTok is just as censory as any other social media site. They're constantly taking down videos for misinformation or like hate speech or anything like that. They constantly taking stuff down. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to get it in an upcoming episode. Hell, if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments because I love talking to y'all. And if you're having a good time, won't you hit that like button and consider subscribing? Then come back tomorrow because I'm making a new episode every day.
Monday Mandela.
And for this Monday Mandela, let's take a trip down the wonderful yellow brick road to the wonderful Wizard of Oz with 3 Mandelas that'll surely blow your mind. First off, what color were Dorothy's socks? What do you remember? Were they white or were they blue? Apparently they've always been blue, but this could have to do with the color version of the movie. Not sure. Next off, one that'll really blow your mind. When the witch commands her little flying monkey goons, whatever the crap they are, what does she say? Does she say, "Fly, my pretties, fly"? Apparently not. Now she just says, "Fly, now fly," which is strange. It makes me wonder where we got all the merch and items saying, "Fly, my pretties, fly." Where did everyone get this from? And lastly, what items do you remember all the characters hold? Was the Scarecrow really carrying that pew-pew? The Lion had a mallet? And the Tin Man a giant wrench? What do you remember?
I swear she said, "Fly, my pretties, fly." I gotta watch Wizard of Oz again. Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
Reached out to Trump. I wanted to just say, listen, I'm really sorry that this is going on and it's being dealt with this way. Not because I'm in favor of his politics or what he says. I criticize him all the time. That's my job. And he deserves it. But he doesn't deserve this. A guy pointing an AK-47 at him while he's playing golf? And we take solace in the fact that the guy didn't get any rounds off. That does not work for me. If I had been through what that guy's been through in the last 2 months, you would not know where I am. You would never see me on TV again. No way I would do that. I don't know how he does it. He's got kids, they're adults, but he's got grandkids. He's got a wife. People giving crap to Melania Trump, worrying about whether or not there was a plot around his husband. How could she not? I don't think she's right, but I totally get why she feels that way and people mock her. And then her husband has a guy pointed with an AK-47. Where are those people apologizing? That's what it's time for.
Thank you, Terry, for sending me this awesome clip. I love it. I love that there's somebody with a platform on the left that's sincerely saying, hey, this is wrong. We shouldn't be all excited about this guy going out there and trying to take out Trump just because we don't agree with his politics. There's a lot of politics on both sides that I don't agree with, but I'm not okay with somebody wanting to go out and just end their lives. That's ridiculous. But that seems to be okay. They think that it's okay. The left thinks it's okay to talk like that. The divide, the political divide in this country is absolutely ridiculous, and it's only getting worse.
Thank you for coming. Looking forward to answering some of your questions. This week, our nation paused to mark the 5th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. The information that the Central Intelligence Agency has obtained by questioning men like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has provided valuable information and has helped disrupt terrorist plots, including strikes within the United States. For example, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed described the design of planned attacks on buildings inside the U.S. and how operatives were directed to carry them out. That is valuable information for those of us who have the responsibility to protect the American people. He told us the operatives have been instructed to ensure that the explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping. He told us the operatives have been instructed to ensure that the explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping. The explosives.
For some reason, I can't remember if those operatives had actually brought explosives on the planes with them, and that was the whole plan. I can't remember. Let me know if you remember if there was actually explosives on the plane or if the plane was just the weapon in and of itself. But if there wasn't, that's an interesting statement, isn't it?
Oh, Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the world thy hand made, I see the star, I hear rolling thunder, thy path throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. This is my soul, my Savior God.
Oh, that's a lot of interesting facts. What do you think? Do you think that Elvis is still alive? Do you think that's Elvis? I'm pretty sure he'd be a little bit older than that at this point, but those are interesting facts. Thanks again to Terry. She also brought these last two clips. I love you. This last clip is a little long, so stick with me. It's really cool.
Way back in the early 80s, the Defense Intelligence Agency they had a highly classified program experimenting with time travel. And this was out at Nevada Test Site, which is now the Nevada National Security Site, where the nuclear weapons were tested years before. They built some special facilities out there to experiment in time traveling, trying to figure out how they could do that. Top scientists from all over the United States and some from the UK were there trying to perfect a method to open up the fabric of space, so to speak, in order to travel, either forward or back in time. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we had visitors, I'd like to call them, at the facility at Site Alpha. And one of the particular entities, although we couldn't fully communicate, but we were able to determine, and I don't know exactly how this happened, but the scientists were able to communicate in a way for them to explain something about how they move from one point to another in space. And then this is back in the 80s now. You can understand our understanding of a lot of different things, even pertaining to physics and astronomy, was a neophyte back then. We were just in the infant stages of understanding this. So we were able to, our scientists were able to grasp some information that was provided by this particular visitor, and they tried to adapt that. But unfortunately, you have to understand that the visitor's technology was hundreds or maybe thousands of years more advanced than us. Plus, we couldn't understand their science, and it was difficult for them to relate their science to us. But we were able to understand that that particular entity was able to move, not so much as during time travel, but moving forward and back in time. We couldn't understand exactly how they did it, but they were able to do that. And over the years now, jumping to now, after I left government service, I worked for the Institute for Advanced Studies at Austin, Dr. Hal Puthoff's facility down there. And there was some research that was done regarding this particular subject of traveling the time. Most scientists understand time travel to be only back in time because that's occurred rather than forward in time where it hasn't occurred yet. But there's strong evidence that we can do that now, even by just moving some atoms from one location to another, or a molecule of water. or the third element of water, tritium, of the molecule, from one point to another. We were able to do that, both forward and backwards. So to answer the question, yes, ETs can do that. If one particular species of extraterrestrials can travel in that manner, probably all of them can.
Now, in my mind, you gotta be a special kind of sick to sit on a panel and claim that this has happened, like the government has been doing this in front of a bunch of people. Or you're telling some truth, which is super exciting because aliens and time travel, it makes a lot of sense. Maybe they are us from the future, right? And it's evolved, and that's why there's a different language and there's a language barrier and oh my gosh, the possibilities. I love it. I love it. We're time traveling and they're just hiding it from us because I don't know. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.